Alright people, so we are going to start with this new topic, obviously not a new topic, but in coordinate systems we are going to deal with the distance formula, a very common thing which you have basically studied, the basics of which have been covered in your 10th standard in almost all boards. So distance formula is nothing but the distance between 2 points. So let's say if we have a coordinate axis out here, this is basically a coordinate axis, and let's say we have a point here x1 y1, and we have a point here x2 y2. Okay, so let's say we have the distances. So we have to basically find out the distance between, let's say this is a point P and this is a point Q, P and Q. So what we draw here is basically a perpendicular from Q to the x-axis, a perpendicular from here to here, and obviously a perpendicular from here to here, and a perpendicular from here to here. Okay, so what do we get here? This will be basically y2, this will be y1, and this will be x1, and this will be x2. Okay, so let's say this is triangle PQR. Okay, so in triangle PQR, we know that this will be a right angle triangle. Angle PQR will be equal to 90 degrees. So Pythagoras theorem will be basically applicable. So in that case, PQ square will be equal to QR square plus PR square. So PQ square will be equal to QR square plus PR square. Now let's say what will be the distance QR. So we can see the distance QR is y2 minus y1. y2 minus y1. So this is going to be y2 minus y1. y2 minus y1 square plus x2 minus x1 square. So PQ square is equal to this. So PQ will be equal to under root of y2 minus y1 square plus x2 minus x1 square, or we can also write this as x1 minus x2, because any which ways this is a square, and negative, even if x1 is greater than x2 or x2 is greater, it doesn't matter because we are doing a square of this term. So x1 plus x2 square plus y1 minus y2 square. So this will be the distance. Okay, so distance between 2 points, distance between 2 points x1 y1 and x2 y2 is under root of x1 minus x2 square plus y1 minus y2 square. This will be basically the distance between 2 points. Now let's say we have, now this is basically the distance between the 2 points. Now let's say we have here, if we have a point, if there are 2 points whose coordinates are, let's say whose coordinates are x1 0 and x2 0. So basically the y-axis part in both of them is 0. So what will be their distance? The distance will be x1 minus x2 or x2 minus x1. So this will be a mod value. Similarly, if we have to find out the distance between 2 points, 0 y1 and let's say 0 y2, it will be how much? y1 minus y2, mod of y1 minus y2. So it can take both values, y2 minus y1, or it can take a value of y1 minus y2. This is a distance formula which most of us have actually covered in various boards. CBSE and as well as various state boards as well in the 10th standard itself. Nothing new as such, but it will be applied in the coordinate system, and we will try and solve some problems which are on mains level as well as advanced level in IIT based on this concept here. Okay. Okay, so now using the coordinate axis or either the distance formula, we are going to prove Apollonius theorem. Apollonius theorem. This theorem has been extensively used in some boards, including Maharashtra State Board, in the 10th standard itself, but the proof was not on the coordinate axis. Okay, the proof was something which was based on simple geometry. So Apollonius theorem was covered in some state boards in the 10th standard itself. CBSE didn't have the Apollonius theorem, but we will check what is Apollonius theorem. So basically, let's say if we have any triangle, let's say we have what happened? So let's say we have any triangle out here. We have any triangle out here and we draw its median. So from one vertex we have drawn its median. Okay, so let's say we have a triangle A, B, and we have C, and let's say we have D. Okay, A, B, C and D. Okay, so we have drawn its median. So now what Apollonius theorem states is AB square plus AC square will be equal to twice of AD square plus any of these. Let us say BD square, or it can also be written as twice of AD square, that is the median itself, or DC square, because we know that these two are equal. That is what Apollonius theorem is. We can get this proved by coordinate axis as well. What we need to do is, let's say if I happen to draw the coordinate axis here, so let's say we have drawn the coordinate axis here. Okay, let's say we have drawn the coordinate axis here, and let's say we call this point as 0, 0, and let's say this point C, it becomes K0. So obviously B will have a coordinate of minus K0 because D is the midpoint. D is the midpoint. If the point C has a coordinate K0, D will have minus K0. Let's say coordinate, this is XY. Okay, so obviously what will be the value of AB square? AB square, if we happen to apply the distance formula, the square root portion will go off. We have x minus k square plus y minus 0 square. So that's going to give us x plus k square plus y square. That is going to be AB square. Okay, and similarly what we have as AC square. AC square will be how much? X minus k square plus y minus 0 square. So this is going to be x minus k square plus y square. So this is going to be AC square. Okay, now let's talk about AD square here. So AD square, very simple format, it will be x minus 0 square plus y minus 0 square. Distance formula, applications of distance formula, x square plus y square. So AD square is going to be x square plus y square. What is BD square? BD square, or you can even compound out CD square. So this will be 0 minus k square plus 0 minus 0 square. So that's going to be how much? K square plus 0 square. That's basically, so BD square is equal to k square. Okay, all right. So if I happen to add AB square plus AC square, how much would I get? X plus k square plus y square plus x minus k square plus y square. X plus k square. Okay, so this will be how much? A plus b and a minus b is a plus b whole square and a minus b whole square. What do we get here? So this will be 2x square plus 2k square. 2x square plus 2, this will be 2x square plus 2k square plus 2y square. That is how much? 2 into x square plus y square plus k square. BD square is k square. Now let's talk about, so if we happen to do an RHS part here, RHS is 2AD square, that is twice of AD square plus DC square. So this will be twice of AD square, that is x square plus y square, and DC or BD, whichever, if we take as BD, so this will be k square. Okay, so look at this part and look at this part. So therefore LHS is equal to RHS, and this is basically hence proved. We have this proof in geometry wherein we prove it by the medians and all, but this is basically a pure proof from coordinate geometry or coordinate axis. Okay, so this is Apollonius theorem getting proved, wherein the sum of the squares of any two sides will be equal to the square of the median plus the mid portion, or right, say the square of the other side, half of the square of the other side. We can also put it across like this, that is 2AD square plus this is BD square, that is half of BC square. That is something that we can prove. Okay. Okay, so here we have basically a problem in which find the coordinates of the circumcenter of the triangle whose vertices are A 5, -1, B -1, 5 and C 6, 6. Find its radius also. So let's say we have this circle here. Let's say this is the circle. Okay, find the coordinates of the circumcenter of a triangle. So let's say we have a triangle out here, any triangle actually. Let's scrap this here. So okay, so this is basically a triangle, and let's say we have joined the center to all the vertices. Okay, we have joined the center, so it's an easy problem. Let's say the center has coordinates, let O, that is x, y, be the center, or rather the circumcenter of the triangle. Okay, so O has to be equidistant from all these points, that is A, B and C. The point O, which is the center, will be equidistant from all these points, that is A, B and C. Let's say A is 5, -1, B is -1, 5 and C is 6 and 6. Okay, so distance, applying distance, so we can say that OA will be equal to OB will be equal to C, because radii of same circle, this will be radii of same circle. So obviously OA square will be equal to OB square will be equal to OC square, squaring all sides. Okay, now OA square, this will be how much? 5 minus x, or we can also say x minus 5 square, it means one and the same thing. X minus 5 square plus y minus 1, that makes it y plus 1 square is equal to OB square. OB square will be how much? X minus 1, that is plus 1 square, plus y minus 5 square, this will be equal to OC square, that is x minus 6 square plus x, or rather y minus 6 square, y minus 6 square. Okay, so let's pick up equations one by one. So if I happen to pick up this equation, let's say this equation, if I happen to pick up this equation, so we will have x minus 5 square plus y plus 1 square is equal to x plus 1 square plus y minus 5 square. So it's very evident from the equation itself. It's very evident from the equation itself. See, we don't have to calculate here anything. 1 minus 5, here y minus 5, here y plus 1, here x plus 1. So if these two are equal, we can say therefore x is equal to y. Straight away we can say that x is equal to y. We don't have to solve anything out here. Okay, let's take the next equation here. So let's say if we have here, take any of these, x plus 1 square plus y minus 5 square is equal to x minus 6 square plus y minus 6 square. So that's how much? X square plus 2x plus 1 plus y square minus 10y plus 25 is equal to x square minus 12x plus 36 plus y square minus 12x plus 36. Okay, so in that case we will have x square and x square getting cancelled, y square and y square getting cancelled. So 2x plus 12x. So that's how much? 2x plus 12x, that is 14x, and this will be, so 2x, this is how much? Why are you putting it y? This should be y. Y square minus, so 2x my 12x, so 2x plus 12x, that is 14x, and we have how much? 14x minus 10y. So this is taken, right? 14x, and this is 10 plus 12, that's how much? 12 minus 10, that is minus 2y, plus 2y is equal to 25 plus 1, 26, 36 minus 10, that is 10, 36 minus 26, that is 10, 10 plus 36, that is 46. So divided by 2 we get 7x plus y is equal to 23. 7x plus y, that will be basically equal to 23, and we have here x is equal to y. So putting that, what we have here is 7x plus x is equal to 23. So 8x is equal to 23. So therefore x will be equal to 23 by 8. X will be equal to 23 by 8, and y also will be equal to 23 by 8, as we have already shown that x and y are equal. Pretty easy sum here. Okay, so find its radius also. So therefore coordinates of circumcenter are how much? 23 by 8 and 23 by 8. What about the radius? So radius will be how much? Radius will be, take any one of them. So this will be x minus 5 square plus y plus 1 square, and that will be basically under root. So this will be x, that is 23 by 8 minus 5 square plus 23 by 8 plus 1 square taken as under root. So this will be how much? This will be 23 by 8. So this will be 8, 23 minus 40. 23 minus 40, that's going to be minus 17. 40, 5 8s are 40. 23 plus 8, so that will be plus 41 by 8 square. 23 plus 8, 31. I'm so sorry there. So this is basically mathematical calculations. Okay, that will be mathematical calculations that can be sorted out, or we can also say that this will be how much? 289 by 64 plus 31. So this is minus 40, and this will be 31 into 31, that's 31. This will be 961 by 64. 9 plus 1 10, 8 plus 1 9, 9 plus 6 15, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 9 12, that will be 64. So this can be written as 8 1250, 1250, this is how much, 2 1250, 2 6 are 12, 2 2s are 4, 5s are 10. Okay, so this will be 625, that will be 25 under root 2. This will be the radius. Okay, so radius of the circle is 25 under root 2 by 8 units. Okay, pretty self-explanatory and easy problems out here, but these easy problems are basically forming your core concepts for the difficult ones. So pay attention here. Okay, so this problem is if the coordinates of any points q1 and q2 are x1 and y1 and x2 y2 respectively, then prove that OQ1 into OQ2 cos of this is equal to x1 x2 y1 y2, where O is the origin. So it's pretty much defined that O is the origin, so we don't have to worry much about it. So let's take the coordinate axis here as with O as origin. So O as origin, and we have basically one point here and the other point here, and we have joined this. Okay, so let's say we have O here, which obviously has coordinates 0 0, we have q1 and we have q2. So q1 has coordinates x1 y1, let's say q1 has coordinates x1 y1, and q2 has coordinates x2 y2. q2 has basically coordinates x2 and y2. Okay, and this is basically the angle which is there between them. Okay, so we can say that, see, by cosine rule, and if you apply the vector rule also, it will be working here. Okay, by cosine rule we can say that q2 q1 square, that is the resultant of two vectors, is equal to O q1 square plus O q2 square, O q1 square plus O q2 square minus 2 twice of O q1 into O q2 into cos of angle O q1 O q2, cos of angle q1 O q2. We are just applying the vector formula here. So what is q2 q1 square? That will be how much? x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. This will be equal to O q1 square. O q1 square will be how much? Obviously x1 square. O q2 square will be how much? O q2 square will be y2 square minus 2 O q1 O q2. O q1 O q2, that is 2x1 OQ1 will be how much? So in the formula itself it is written OQ1. Okay, so it's not okay, so let it stay as there only. So we don't need to OQ1 OQ2 cos of angle Q1 OQ2. Okay, so what do we have here? x2 square plus x1 square minus 2x1 x2 plus y2 square plus y1 square minus 2 y1 y2 is equal to x1 square plus x1 square plus x1 square plus x1 square plus this will be x2 square, right? x2 minus we are going wrong here. So this will be OQ1 square. OQ1 square will be how much? This will be equal to x1 square plus y1 square, and Q2 square will be x2 square plus y2 square minus 2 OQ1 OQ2 cos of angle O1 q1 o q2. Okay, so this will be x1 square plus x2 square plus y1 square plus y2 square minus twice oq1 oq2 cos of angle o1 q1 o q2. Okay, so this x2 square gets cancelled, this x1 gets cancelled, y1 y2 all get cancelled here. So what we have is minus 2 taken as common, x1 x2 plus y1 y2 is equal to minus 2 o q1 into o q2 cos of angle q1 o q2. Okay, minus minus gets cancelled, twice and twice gets cancelled. So here we have x1 x2 plus y1 y2 is equal to o q1 into o q2 cos of angle q1 o q2, cos of angle q1 o q2. That's what we will get here. Okay. All right, people, so we are going to continue with the coordinate systems and take up some rather easier problems on concepts, and these concepts, as we discussed, they will be based mainly on basically most of the portion was covered in the 10th standard in various boards. So we are going to cover up these problems and get an itch or get basically the basic and fair idea about how coordinate system problems are framed. So these problems, although they seem to be easy, but they basically will form the basis of your concepts and core concepts basically for problem solving. Okay, so here we have area of a polygon, which is basically area of a triangle, and this will be, so it's difficult to remember it in this format. So an ideal way of remembering this would be put it in determinants. So let's say if we have x1 y1 x2 y2 and x3 y3 as the three coordinates, x1 y1 x2 y2 and x3 y3 as the three coordinates, or rather three vertices of a triangle. These are basically the three vertices of a triangle. Then we will have half x1 x2 x3 y1 y2 y3 and 1 1 1. So this will be basically the area of the triangle. Okay, in the same way, if we have an n-sided polygon, which means polygon basically, so it can be of any sides. Okay, so in cyclic order, if we are taking this in cyclic order, this will be the thing. But the better part is to remember this in this staircase method. This staircase method, you just have to take care that you are putting, and this is applicable to triangles as well. So it will be x1 x2 x3 xn. After the xn, you will have to switch back to x1 in the same way. So these are basically shortcut tricks, y1 y2 y3 yn, and again you will switch back to y1. So this will be x1 y2 minus x2 y1 plus x2 y3 minus x3 y2 plus xn y1 minus x1 y1. Okay, so just a reiteration of what is basically. So if we have a x1 y1, b as x2 y2 and c as x3 y3 as the vertices of a triangle. So area of this triangle, area of triangle ABC, will be equal to half, and this will be basically x1 x2 x3 y1 y2 y3 1 1 1. So if I happen to elaborate this will be 1, and this will be mod. Area will always be positive. This is something that we have to keep in mind. So this will be how much? This will be mod of this value, that is x1 into y2 minus y3 minus y1, that will be minus y1 into x2 minus x3 plus 1 into x2 y3 minus x3 y2. That will be basically the area of the triangle, keeping in mod values, because area has to be positive. Okay, so this will be how much? Half. If we happen to elaborate this will be x1 y2 minus x1 y3 minus x2 y1 plus x3 y1 plus x2 y3 minus x3 y2. Okay, and this will be entirely taken as mod value. This will be mod value. Okay, so this is basically the area of a triangle. Now if we happen to take out the area of a polygon, area of a polygon, that will be how much? So let's say this staircase method, x1 y1 x2 y2, and we go on till xn yn. The mod of this half. Okay, so this will be like half mod of this, again mod of this, x1 y2 minus x2 y1 plus x2 y3 minus x3 y2. Okay, we will have to ensure that we are putting this as last, x1 y1. Okay, so this will be till xn y1 minus x1 yn. Okay, so this will be basically closure of the brackets. Okay, so here it will be like this. Okay, so this area of a polygon, this formula can also be applied to find out the area of a triangle, because triangle is also definitely a polygon. All we have to ensure is that we are taking mod values. We are taking mod values out here. It's very important that we take out mod values here. Okay, just one moment. Okay, so let's move on here. Find the area of a triangle, very simple. Okay, find the area of a triangle. So we just keep this as matrices. So if we happen to keep the matrices like this, the area of the triangle will be half of x1 y1 x2 y2 and x3 y3. If we happen to take this one in like this, and again 3 2, so this will be how much? Half of 3 8s are 24 minus 22 plus 11 12 132 minus 64 plus 16 minus 36. Okay, again the entire thing taken as mod value, because area has to be positive. I think this is very much solvable here. 24 minus 32, that will be minus 8, plus 132 minus 64, 68, and 16 minus 36, that is minus 20. Okay, so this will be how much? Half into mod value of 20 minus 28, 68 minus 28, that is 40, approximately 20 square units. Okay, we can find it in this way. We can also find it in this way. That is half 3 11 8 2 8 12 1 1 1. If we happen to take out the determinant, we can also get the value here as well. Okay, all right. Why is this blank? Okay, so what we have here is prove that the area of the triangle whose vertices are this and this is independent of t. Prove that the area of the triangle whose vertices are. So basically we have half. What will be the area of the triangle here? Area of the triangle will be t minus 2, t plus 2, t plus 2, t plus 3, and t. We have 1 1 1. So this will be half. This will be half into what will be the value here? Half t into t plus 2, t into t plus 2, minus this will be t square minus 4, t square minus 4, no, I am wrong here. So this will be t into t plus 2 minus t, minus t minus 2 into t plus 2 minus t minus 3. Okay, so this will be t minus 2 t plus 2 minus t minus 3 plus 1 that will be t into t plus 2. So we do not need to write 1 here. So t into t plus 2 minus t plus 2 into t plus 3. Okay, so let's take this out here. So this will be half and this will be gone, so this will be 2t minus here it gets cancelled, so 2 minus 3, that is minus 1 into t minus 2, that will be plus t, no, this will be minus 1, this is minus 1 here coming out as minus 1, so minus 1, this gets cancelled, so this will be plus t minus 2 plus here it will be t square plus 2t minus here it will be t square, this is t plus 2 into t plus t square plus 5t plus 6 2t, so this will be 2t plus t 3t 3t, this will be 5t, 2t plus t plus 2t is 5t, that will be plus t square minus 2 minus t square minus 5t, and this will be basically minus 6. So here 5t gets cancelled, t square gets cancelled, so again this will be mod value. Okay, so this will be mod of half minus 2 minus 6, that is minus 8, so this will be 4 square units, which again is basically independent. This is independent of t, so let's calculate this. Okay, find the area of a quadrilateral which is having vertices as this. Okay, so quadrilateral area, again quadrilateral area is half, we will just write the vertices 1 1 7 minus 3 12 2 7 21, and this will be again 1 1 n-sided polygon. Okay, so this will be half, and this will be minus 3 minus 7 plus 12 into 21, so 21 into 12 42 21 252, so this will be 12 minus 3 minus 7 2s are 14 plus 14 minus 36 plus 252 minus 14 plus 7 minus 21, so this will be in mod, let's quickly look at the value here. Half 14 and minus 14 gets cancelled, minus 7 plus 7 gets cancelled, so we have here minus 39 minus 21, 9 plus 1 10, 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 5 6, minus 60, 39 minus 21 minus 60, so this will be 252 minus 60, so this will be half into 2 9 plus 6 15, and this will be 192, 2 9s are 18, 2 6 are 12, so this will be 96 square units. This will be the answer. Okay, so we have to, in this problem find the value of k. For what value of k? Basically are the points these and these collinear. So when the points are collinear, we know that if we happen to find out the area of that triangle formed by collinear points, this will always be 0 because they are obviously not forming a triangle. Okay, so let's take this here. We have here area of the triangle formed by these points. Let's say area of triangle formed by these points. 1 2 3 points are there. Okay, will be equal to 0, which means here we will have k 2 minus 2k minus k plus 1, and we have 2k, and here we have minus 4 minus k 6 minus 2k 1 1 1. This area will be equal to 0. Okay, so Ideally we can ignore this half as well, because half has no meaning out here. We can just put this as 0. So here it will be k into 2k, that's basically 2k square minus k plus 1 into 2 minus 2k minus 2 minus 2k k, this will be, oh I'm wrong here, I am so wrong here. This will be basically k into, this will be minus k plus 1 minus k plus 1 into 6 minus 2k minus 2k into minus 4 minus k. Okay, so this will be k in, I am again wrong, why am I doing? So k into 2k minus 6 plus 2k, this will be 2k minus 6 plus 2k. Okay, minus 2 minus 2k, that will be how much? Minus 2 minus 2k into minus k plus 1 multiplied by this minus 4 minus k, so this will be plus 4 plus k. So this will be plus 4 plus k, minus k plus 1 minus 4 plus k. Here it is 2k minus 6 plus 2k, 2k minus 6 plus 2k. Okay, so let's move ahead. Okay, 1, so this will be minus k plus 1 into 6 minus 2k, and this will be minus 2k into minus 4 minus k. Okay, let's solve this out here. This will be equal to basically 0, this will be equal to 0. So let's solve this out here. So we get here a k, 2k plus 2k, that is 4k minus 6 minus, what do we get here? So k and k basically get cancelled, 5. So this will be 5 into 2 minus 2k, 5 into 2 minus 2k. Here it will be how much? Plus minus k, so this will be minus 6k plus 6 minus 6k plus 6 plus 2k square plus 2k square minus 2k minus 6k plus 6 plus 2k square minus 2k. This will be minus, that is minus minus, this becomes plus 2k, that is 8k plus 2k square, 2 4s are 8k plus 2k square, this will be equal to 0. Okay, this will be basically equal to 0. So here we have 4k square minus 6k minus 10 minus 10k minus 6k plus 6 plus 2k square minus 2k plus 8k plus 2k square. This happens to be 0. So let's look at the k square part. 4k square plus 2k square, that is 6k square, 6k square plus 2k square, that is 8k square, that is 8k square, minus 6k minus 6k minus 6k minus 6k minus 12k minus 2k, so that will be minus 2k plus 8k, 6k minus 6k minus 12k, 12k minus 2, that is minus 14k, minus 14k plus 8, that is plus 6k, right? 6k, 6k minus 10, that is minus 16, minus 16 minus 6, that is minus 22, minus 22 minus 2, so minus 22 minus 2, that is minus 24, minus 24 plus 8, that will be minus 16, that will be minus 16. Okay, so let's look at this. Minus 10 plus 6, that is minus 4, minus 4 is equal to 0. Minus 10 plus 6, minus 10 plus 6, that is 4 is equal to 0. Let's divide this by 4, 2k square minus 4k minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, we have here? Are we on the right track? I think we are missing out on something here. Some mistake has happened. Let me check here, just some mistake has happened here. Okay, so I'm sorry, the mistake that we were making here, okay, this is minus 5 minus 2, so this will be minus 10, and this is minus 5 minus 2, so this will be a plus 10. Okay, so 10k minus 6k, that is 4k, 4k minus 6k, that is minus 2k, minus 2k minus 2k, that is minus 4k, plus 8k, that will be plus 4k. Okay, sorry, this will be plus 4k, so this will be basically plus 4k. So what do we have here? This will be basically divided by 4, 2k square plus 2k minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, 2k square, no, 2k square plus k, yes, 2k square plus k, sorry, 2k square plus k minus 1 is equal to 0. So this can be written as 2k square plus 2k minus k minus 1 is equal to 0, which will be how much? 2k into k plus 1 minus 1 into k plus 1 is equal to 0. So this is going to be k plus 1 into 2k minus 1 is equal to 0, which gives k is equal to minus 1 or k is equal to half. Now you have to be a little careful here. If we happen to take k as half, so look at these points. So this will be half and 2 minus 2 into half. So this will be 2 minus 1, that is half and 1. And look at this point here. Let's say minus 4 minus 2. So this will be k, that is half 2 minus 2 into half, that is 1. Okay, this will be minus k plus 1, that is minus half plus 1 and 2 into half. So this will be half and 1. So if you notice, the points A and B become collinear. The points A and B become collinear. So we cannot accept this value of k half. We cannot accept this value of k half because in this case points A and B are becoming collinear. So the only acceptable value for k will be k is equal to minus 1. This is the only acceptable value of k. Okay. Okay, so here we have the problem. The coordinates of 2 points are 3, 4 and 5 minus 2. Find the coordinates of point P if PA is equal to PB and the area of the triangle PAB is 10 square units. Okay, so the coordinates of, so if we can say that PA is equal to PB, then squaring both sides we will have PA square is equal to PB square. So you have to find out the coordinates of point. Let P XY be the point, okay. So here we have PA square, that will be x minus 3 square, distance formula, plus y minus 4 square is equal to x minus 5 square plus y minus 2, that is plus 2 square. Okay, so resolving this we will have x square minus 6x plus 9 plus y square minus 8y plus 16 is equal to x square minus 10x plus 25 plus y square minus 4y plus 4. Okay, so x square gets cancelled, y square gets cancelled. Let's look at what we are remaining here. Minus 6x and this is minus 10x. So if I happen to bring this will be 10x minus 6x, that is 4x. Okay, minus 8y and this is plus 4y. Minus 8y plus 4y, that is minus 4y. This will be equal to, so here we have 16 plus 9, that is 25 gets cancelled with, and this will be 4. So just dividing it we will get x minus y is equal to 1. This becomes our equation number 1. This will become our equation number 1. So there are two unknown variables x and y. In order to find out their equation, or in order to find out their values, we need to have at least two values, or rather two equations. Just 1 minute. We need to have two equations. Okay, now here we have area of triangle PAB. Area of triangle PAB. Okay, area of triangle PAB is 10 square units. So in this case we will have angle PAB. So area of triangle PAB, area of triangle PAB, this will be equal to x1, that is 3, 4, 5 minus 2, and 3, 4, 5 minus 2. This will be half, half, and again this will be xy, and again 3, 4. Okay, we can take this as how much? This is 10 square units. So we can say that it will be 3 into 2, that is minus 6 minus 20, minus 6 minus 20, plus 5y minus 2x, 5y minus 2x, plus 4x minus 3y, 4x minus 3y is equal to 10 into 2, that is 20. So minus 6 minus 20, 5y minus 5y, and this will be plus 2x, minus 2x plus 2x, and this will be 4x minus 3y. This 2 comes here, so it makes it 20. Okay, let's see what the value has been here. So this will be how much? Minus 26 plus 5y plus 2x plus 4x minus 3y is equal to 20. So this is going to be how much? 2x plus 4x, that gives us 6x, and 5y minus 3y, that gives us plus 2y. This 26 goes there, it becomes 46. 20 plus 26, 46. We divide this by 2, we get 3x plus y is equal to 23. This becomes our equation number 2. So solving these two equations, x minus y, so if I add up, so adding 1 and 2, so this will be 4x is equal to 24, gives us x as 6, the value of x as 6. Again x is equal to 1, or rather y is equal to x minus 1 is equal to y from the equation number 1. So y is equal to 5, y is equal to 5. So the coordinates of the 2 points, find the coordinates of P. So the coordinates of P would be 6 and 5. The coordinates of P would be 6 and 5. Pretty easy problems. Okay, let's move on to 11. If the vertices of a triangle have rational coordinates, then prove that the triangle cannot be equilateral. So if we have, let's say, let the vertices of the triangle be x1 y1 x2 y2 and x3 y3. So what we will have here is therefore area of the triangle, this will be equal to half x1 y1 x2 y2 x3 y3 x1 y1. So this will be half into x1 y2 minus x2 y1 plus x2 y3 minus x3 y2 plus x3 y1 minus x1 y3. Okay, now all of these, okay, understand, obviously this is rational, all of these are rational because that's what are, so x1 x2 x3 and y1 y2 y3 all are basically what, all are rational, all of them are rational. So this entire portion becomes rational, so this will be rational. Half into something rational will give you a rational result, and we know that area of an equilateral triangle is equal to under root 3 by 4 into side square, under root 3 by 4 into side square. Now what will be the side? Let's say any of these sides. So this will be under root 3 by 4 into x2 minus x1, x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. Any of these sides, let's say we can write this as under root 3 by 4. Let's say this is point A, this is point B, and this is point C. Under root 3 by 4 AB square we can write, or BC square, or AC square. Now look at this. Since x1 and x2, so this will be x2 minus x1 y2. Since x2 and x1 are rational, this is going to be rational, this is going to be rational. So this entire product here will be rational. Now understand this. This is rational, this is rational. However, under root 3 is irrational. So we know that an irrational number, when multiplied by a rational number will give you an irrational result. Okay, so in RHS we have an irrational result, which means this one, irrational result. On LHS we have a rational result, so which is not possible. Okay, so therefore then proved the triangle cannot be equilateral. So with having rational coordinates as if the vertices of an equilateral triangle have rational coordinates, then the triangle itself cannot be equilateral. Okay, so this can be proved here. Okay, so we have here this problem: A is equal to 3 by under root 2 under root 2, B is equal to minus 3 by under root 2 under root 2, C is equal to minus 3 by under root 2 minus under root 2, and D is this. Are 4 points, and find the maximum area of the quadrilateral ABC where theta is in between this. Okay, so again applying the staircase method, we have 3 by under root 2, and this will be under root 2 minus 3 by under root 2 under root 2, then we have minus 3 by under root 2 minus under root 2, and this will be 3 cos theta 2 sin theta. Okay, so this is going to be how much? Half into 3 by under root 2 into 2, that will be 3, minus 2 gets cancelled, so this will be plus 3, plus 3 by under root 2, this minus gets cancelled, plus 3, and this gets cancelled, so this will be minus 3, that is plus 3. Okay, then we have minus 3 by under root 2 into 2, so that will be minus 3 under root 2 minus 3 under root 2 sin theta, minus 3 under root 2 sin theta, and this will be minus 3 under root 2 cos theta. Okay, so let's look at this. What will be the value of this? 3 plus 3 6, 6 plus 6 12, 12 minus 3 under root 2 sin theta minus 3 under root 2 cos theta, minus 3 under root 2 cos theta. Okay, so this will be the area of the triangle. You have to find out the maximum value of this triangle, area maximum. Let's check once again. 3 under root 2 gets cancelled, so this will be 3 minus 3 under root 2 to plus 3, this will be 3 under root 2 and 2, so this gets cancelled. We have here 3, and here 2 under root 2 gets cancelled, so plus 3, so 12 minus something is going wrong. 3 by under root 2 minus 3 under root 2 minus 3 by under root 2 minus 2, 3 cos theta 2 sin theta. We have missed out on placing 3 under root 2 and 2 here. Okay, let's do this once again, because we have to put the values of theta here. Let's put out this value here. So area of the quadrilateral will be equal to half into 3 by under root 2 minus 3 by under root 2, and then we have minus 3 by, let me just check here 1 second. Okay, so we'll just put this the same way. minus 3 by 2, this is 2, minus 3 by under root 2, and then we have minus 3 by under root 2 minus under root 2, then we have 3 cos theta 2 sin theta, then we have 3 by under root 2 and under root 2. Okay, this will be basically mod of this value. Okay, so mod of this value, this will be half, that will be 3 under root 2, 3 under root 2 into 2, that will be 3 plus 3, and this will be again under root 2, so this will be plus 3 minus 3, this will be plus 3, this will be 2 under root 2, so this will be minus 3 under root 2 sin theta, minus 3 under root 2 sin theta, and this will be how much? Minus 3 under root 2 cos theta, minus 3 under root 2 cos theta. Okay, plus we have, plus we will have 3 under root 2 cos theta, 3 under root 2 cos theta, and under root plus minus 3 under root 2 sin theta, 3 under root 2 sin theta. Let's look at it once again. Under root 2 3 plus 3, this is all fine. All we have to check here is minus 3 under root 2 sin theta, minus 3 under root 2, this will be 3 under root 2 sin theta, minus, so this will become plus 3 under root 2 cos theta, 3 under root 2 cos theta minus 3 under root 2 sin theta. So let's look at it once again. This will be half 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, so that's basically 12. Okay, minus 3 under root 2 sin theta minus 3 under root 2 sin theta, so gives us minus 6 under root 2 sin theta. Okay, here we have how much? 3 under root 2 cos theta, and here we have 3 under root 2, so this will be plus 3 under root 2 cos theta, 3 under root 2 cos theta. Okay, so for this value to be maximum, so we can say this 1 into this will be half. So we basically have to find out so this is basically area of triangle. Now if we have to find out triangle area maximum, so this is constant, so that maximum has nothing to do with this, so this should be minimum, which means 12 minus 12 maximum area will be 1 when this becomes 0, maximum area will be when this becomes basically 0. So in that case, area of the quadrilateral, this is area of the quadrilateral, area of the quadrilateral becomes maximum when 6 under root 2 sin theta. So we can place this like this, this will be half 12 minus 6 under root 2 sin theta minus, this will be 6, okay, minus 6 under root 2 cos theta. Okay, so that is how it is. So this, it will be maximum when 6 under root 2 sin theta minus 6 under root 2 cos theta becomes equal to 0, so it means that sin theta becomes equal to cos theta, or tan theta becomes equal to 1. And look at this, it is in between 3 pi by 2 and 2 pi. So we know that tan theta assumes a value of 1 when theta is equal to pi by 4, or theta is equal to, that is tan theta is equal to tan 2 pi minus, or 2 pi plus pi by 4, right? 2 pi minus pi by 4. So this is in the second quadrant, this is in the third quadrant. So this will be, theta will be equal to 8 pi minus, this will be 7 pi by 4. Since this is in this quadrant, 7 pi by 4. So in that case here, therefore theta has to be 7 pi by 4. And what will be the maximum? Maximum area here will be equal to 12 square units. Maximum area will be 12 square units. Okay, let's move on to the, so these are some questions which we have framed. Okay, let's move on to the section formula, something that you have already studied. So if there is basically a line, so what does it state? We are not going to into the proofs of it. So let's say we have 2 points here, x1 y1, and this is, let's say, x2 y2. These are points A and B separated by a point P. Let's say this is lambda is to 1, or let's say m is to n. So let's say if we happen to take this as m and this as n, so this will be, and this has coordinates, let's say x and y. So x can be written as m x2 plus n x1 upon m plus n, and y can be written as m x2 plus m y2 plus n y1 upon m plus n. This is basically your section formula. I don't think we need much of a reiteration here. The proof is given here, but this is something that we have already learned in the lower standards. Okay, now if there is an internal division, this is basically section formula applicable. This is basically section formula which is applicable for internal division. Internal division here means that the point lies on the line. This point lies on the line. If we happen to have an external division, so let's say this is the case of external division. We have basically a line like this, and we have, let's say, point A, and this is point B, and here is point P. So P xy, let's say this is x1 y1, and this is, let's say, x2 y2. So what is point P doing? So AP, this will be basically m, and this will be basically n. This is basically n. So AP is to BP is again m is to n, but in this case x will be m into x2, that is x will be m x2 minus n x1 upon m minus n, and y will be m y2 minus n y1 upon m minus n. So this is applicable. This is applicable for internal division. This is applicable for internal division. Okay, all right, let's move on. So these are certain things that we need to take care of. Okay, so find the coordinates of the point which divides the line segment joining the points in the ratio of 3:2 internally and externally. So m is to n, here is 3:2. The points are let's say A, that is 6 3, and B, that is -4 and 5. So x, so let's say the point P xy. For internal division, x will be equal to mx2, that is 3 into -4 n x1, that is 2 into 6 upon m plus n. So this is going to be -12 plus 12 upon 3 plus 2 5, that is 0. Okay, and y accordingly will be how much? 3 into 5 plus 2 into 3 upon again 5. So this will be 15 plus 6 upon 5, that will be 21 by 5. So this point is going to be this. Okay, now let's look at the external division. In external division we have x is equal to 3 into -4, minus 2 into 3 upon again 3 minus 2. So this will be -12 and -6, -12 and -6 upon 1, that is -18. Again y here will be 3 into 5, that is 15, minus 2 into 3, that is 6, 3 minus 2, that is 1. So this will be 9. So coordinates here will be -18 and 9. Okay, all right, pretty easy problems. Are 2 points. So A11 and B23 are 2 points, and D is a point and AB produced on B. So this is basically a case of external division. We have here A and B. A is 1 1, and let's say here we have B, that is 2 minus 3. D is somewhere here. Let's say the coordinates are x and y. AD, that is this is AD is thrice of AB. So we can put this as 3:1. So here m is to n will be equal to 3:1. So very comfortably we can find out x, that will be 3 into x will be equal to 3 into 2 plus 1 into 1 upon 3 plus 1, so that will be 5 plus 1 upon 4, that's 6 upon 4, that is 3 by 2. Okay, and y will be equal to 3 into minus 3 plus 1 into 1 upon 3, sorry, this will be 3 minus 1, I am so sorry here, 3 minus 1, so this will be basically 2, so this will be basically 3. Okay, here we have minus 9 plus 1, again 3 minus 1, that is 2, so this will be 2 minus 8 by 2, that is minus 4, so this will be 3 and minus 4, this will be 3 and minus 4, the coordinates of D will be 3 and minus 4. Okay, determine the ratio. Here the question is determine the ratio. I'm sorry, maybe I'm going a little fast, I will try to go slow. Let me just check something here. One second. Okay people, so we have here determine the ratio in which the line divides the segment joining the point. So this is like this. Okay, let's say we have 2 points here, any 2 points, A which is having 1 and 3 and B which is having 2 and 7. So there is a line which divides it. Okay, so let's say this is basically the line, and this line has an equation 3x plus y minus 9 is equal to 0. This line has an equation. Okay, let's say this goes through the point P and this has coordinates x and y. Determine the ratio. We have to basically determine the ratio. So let's say the ratio is lambda is to 1. See, whenever we have unknown ratios, always consider this to be lambda is to 1. Okay, so in that case we will have x as equal to mx2, that is lambda into x, sorry 2 lambda, so this will be 2 lambda plus 1 into 1 mx2 plus nx1 lambda plus 1. Okay, and in the similar way we will have y as 7 lambda plus 3 upon lambda plus 1. So these will be the coordinates of x and y. Now since x, y, this point lies on this equation, this x and y will get fulfilled for this equation. So the equation is 3x plus y minus 9 is equal to 0, which we can put across as 2 lambda plus 1 upon lambda plus 1 plus y, that is 7 lambda plus 3 upon lambda plus 1 minus 9 is equal to 0. We get this entire thing multiplied by lambda plus 1. So what we get here is 3 into 2 lambda plus 1 plus 7 lambda plus 3 minus 9 into lambda plus 1 is equal to 0. So that gives us 6 lambda plus 3 plus 7 lambda plus 3 minus 9 lambda minus 9 is equal to 0. Okay, minus 9 lambda. So here we have 6 lambda plus 7 lambda, that is 9 plus 7, 6 plus 7, 13 minus 4, 13 minus 9, that will be 4 lambda. 3 plus 3 is 6 minus 9, that is minus 3 is equal to 0. So here we will have 4 lambda is equal to 3, so lambda will be equal to 3, 4. So lambda is to 1 is the ratio, which means 3 by 4 is to 1 is the ratio, which means 3 is to 4. So basically the points are divided in the ratio of 3 is to 4. So if the ratio is 3 is to 4, the ratio is basically 3 is to 4. Okay, just one moment here. Okay, so in this case we have proved that the points minus 2, minus 1, 1, 0 and 4, 3 and 1, 2 are the vertices of a parallelogram. Is it a rectangle? So basically if we take this to be a parallelogram, it will appear something like this. The points have to be taken into 2, minus 1, then let's say B we have 1, 0, then let's say C we have 4, 3, and let's say D we have 1, 2. How can we prove that this is a parallelogram? Either you take the slopes here, so the slopes of this line y2 minus y1 is equal to this and this. If the slopes are equal, then they are obviously parallel. There are two ways of proving it, or else, okay, so the first way of proving this would be taking the slopes. So slope of slope of AB, that will be how much? y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So this will be how much? 0 minus minus 2, that is 2, and 1 minus minus 1, that will be 2. So this will be 1. Now slope of let's say CD. So this will be how much? y2 minus y1, that is 3 minus 2, that is 1. 3 minus 2, 1. 4 minus 1, x2 minus x1. We are not getting this. Some mistake. 0 minus minus 1. There is the mistake. Okay. So this will be 0 minus minus 1, and this will be 1 minus minus 2. So that gives us 1 by 3. 1 by 3. Here slope of CD will be 3 minus 2, 3 minus 2, and 4 minus 1. So that will be 1 by 3. So obviously AB is parallel to CD. Slope of AB is equal to slope of CD. So AB is parallel to CD. In the same way, if we take slope of BC, that will be how much? That will be 3 minus 0 upon 4 minus 1. That is 3 by 3. That is equal to 1. 3 minus 0, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, that is 1. And in the same way, if we take slope of AD, that will be how much? 2 minus minus 1 upon 1 minus minus 2. So this will be 3 by 3, that will be 1. So again, BC will be parallel to AD. So therefore quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. Quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay. Now let's say the other way to prove this would be, if we happen to, let's say if we are proving this by the distance formula. So these are the two coordinates. So what will be the midpoint? The other way, alternative method. So alternative method, if we are doing, so what will be the midpoint of AC? Midpoint of AC will be x1 plus x2 upon 2, that is 4 plus minus 2 upon 2, that will be how much? 2 by 2, that is 1. In the same way, midpoint of BD, that will be how much? 1 plus 1. Okay, midpoint of B, this will be midpoint of it. This will be x coordinate. And what about the y coordinate? 3. Y will be equal to 3 minus 1 upon 2, that is 1. So this is 1 and 1. And slope of B, in the same way, midpoint of BD, if we have to find out the x coordinate of midpoint of BD, this will be 1 plus 1 upon 2, that is 1. Okay. And what about y? Y will be equal to 4 minus 2, 2 plus 0 upon 2, that is 1. So again, this is also 1 1. So the midpoint of, therefore midpoint of AC is same as midpoint of BD. So therefore this is basically a parallelogram. Therefore quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram because their midpoints are same. What about the next part of the question? It is asking you whether it is a rectangle. Now whether it is a rectangle, how do we prove this? One way of proving is alternative method. So what is it? Slope of AB, we have already calculated. What is slope of AB? Slope of AB is 1 by 3. Slope of AB is equal to 1 by 3. And what about slope of CD? Okay, slope of BC that is equal to 1. Now if we happen to multiply m of AB into m of BC, that will be how much? 1 by 3 into 1. So that gives us 1 by 3, which is not equal to minus 1, because if the lines are perpendicular, then slope of AB into slope of BC would have been equal to minus 1. In that case it would have been a 90-degree angle, but this is not the case. So we can say therefore quadrilateral is a parallelogram, but not a rectangle. But this is not definitely a rectangle. Okay, let's move on here. Okay, so here we have a1, a2, a3, an are the n positions in a plane whose coordinates are x1, y1, x2, y2 till xn, yn respectively. a1, a2 is bisected at the point p1. So now bisected at point p1. So what will be the value of coordinates of point p1? It will be x1 plus x2 upon 2, y1 plus y2 upon 2. This will be the coordinates of p. This will be the coordinates of p. p1 a3 is divided in the ratio of, now p1 and a3 has got coordinates what? a3 will have coordinates x3 and y3. So this is divided. So this is basically p and a. So this is basically p and a, and this is divided in the ratio of 1:2. So 1:2. We have the coordinates as mentioned here. So it will be, so let's say at p2. So this is p2, this is p1. So what will be the coordinates of p2? p2 will have coordinates how much? This is 2 into, so 2 into x1 plus x2 upon 2, 2 into this, 1 into plus 1 into x3, 1 into x3 upon 2 plus 1, 2 plus 1, and this will be how much? 2 into y2, 2 into y1 plus y2 upon 2 plus 1 into y3 upon 2 plus 1, 2 plus 1. So this is going to give you how much? This will be x1 plus x2 plus x3, this 2 and 2 gets cancelled, upon 3, and again we have y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 3. So this will be basically the coordinates of p2. Okay, the coordinates of p2. So we have coordinates of p1 as this, we have coordinates of p2 as this. Okay, now what is being said here? P2 a4. So let's say we have p2 and we have a4 here. So a4 obviously will have coordinates what? x4, y4, x4 and y4. So p2 a4, let's say this is p2 and this is a4, p2 and a4, this is divided by p3 in the ratio of 1:3. So this is basically 1:3. So what will be the coordinates of p3? p3 will be equal to 3 into p2 coordinates. p2 coordinates will be how much? p2 coordinates will be x1 plus x2 plus x3 upon 3, okay, plus x4 upon 3 plus 1. This will be basically the x coordinate. And what about the y coordinate? Y coordinate will be the same, that will be 3 into y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 3 plus y4 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3 plus 1. So this is going to be, p4 will have coordinates, p4 will have coordinates x1 plus x2 plus x3, x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 upon 4, and y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4 upon 4. So these will be the coordinates of p4. These will be the coordinates of p4. Okay, and so on and so forth. So again we have p3 a5 is divided in the ratio of 1:4. So let's say we have what we will be. So now we have p4 and we have a5. a5 will have coordinates as x5 and y5, x5 and y5. This is divided in the ratio of 1:4. So 1:4. So let's say this will be, p4 will have coordinates, p4 will have coordinates 4 into, so p4, that is x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 upon 4 plus 1, 4 plus 1, and this will be 1 into y5 plus this is 1 into x5 plus x5, and this will be similarly 4 into y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4 upon 4 into y5 plus y5. Okay, so this is going to be p4 is equivalent to this gets cancelled, x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 plus x5 upon 5, y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4 plus y5 upon 5. This will be basically the coordinates of P4. Okay, so if we look into this, the trend is what? The trend is P1 is equal to this, P1, the coordinates of P1 is equal to this, P2 is equal to this, P3, where is P3 gone? My friend P3, where are you gone? This is P2, P3, I guess I have not written it. So P3 will be, oh, this is P3, x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus 4, and this is P4. So if you look into this, the trend is what? By just looking at P1, P2, let's use a different marker altogether. P1, P2, P3, P4. So in that case, we can write Pn as x1 plus x2 till see P4 is x5, so this will be xn plus 1 upon 5, that is n plus 1. Okay, and this will be y1 plus y2 till yn plus 1 upon n plus 1. So find the coordinates of the final point. Now we have to see this here, it is divided and so on until all n points are exhausted. So if n points are exhausted, we will not have xn plus 1 will be equal to 0, and similarly yn plus 1 will also be equal to 0. xn and yn are the maximum points. So in that case, Pn will be equal to x1 plus x2 till xn upon n plus 1, and y1 plus y2 till yn upon n plus 1. This is going to be the coordinates. Find the final point so obtained. This will be the final point. Okay. Just a correction here, since the n plus 1th point will not exist, n point will exist, so this 1 will also not exist. So finally Pn will have a value of x1 plus x2, this goes on till xn upon n, and y1 plus y2, this goes on till yn upon n. This will be finished off. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next problem here. Okay, coordinates of, now what we are trying to find out is basically the coordinates of the centroid. What is basically the centroid? Centroid is the intersection point of medians, and we know that centroid divides the median in the ratio of 2:1. So if we work out the entire formula, what we will get is if let's say A, that is x1 y1, B, that is x2 y2, and C, that is x3 y3 are the coordinates of A, B and C. The coordinates of the centroid will be x1 plus x2 plus x3 upon 3, and this will be y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 3. This will be basically the coordinates of the centroid. Okay. So if the vertex A of a triangle ABC is 3, 5 and its centroid is -1, 2, then find the midpoint of the side BC. So let's say we have here, let's say this is vertex A of a triangle, this is 3, 5 and the centroid is given as, so let's say we have the centroid here as so let's say the centroid G, this is centroid GXY, okay, and A and the centroid is 1, 2. So let's say this is the centroid which is -1, 2, and find the midpoint of the side BC. So this is B, this is C. A is 3, 5, centroid is -1, 2, find the midpoint of the side BC. Okay, so let's say we have here this as x and y. Okay, we have here this as x and y. We know that this divides in the ratio of 2:1. Okay, so we can say that -1 is equal to 2x, 2 into x 2 into x plus 1 into 3, 1 into 3 upon 2 plus 1, 2 plus 1, that is how much? 2x plus 3 upon 3. So we can frame the first equation as minus 3 is equal to 2x plus 3. So this will be 2x is equal to minus 6. So x will be equal to minus 3. X will be equal to minus 3. In the same way, for point 2, we will have 2 into y, 2 into y, 2 into y plus 1 into 5 plus 1 into 5, 2 plus 1. Okay, so this will be how much? 2y plus 5 upon 3. So this will be how much? This will be 10 is equal to 2y plus 5. So this will be 2y, 10 minus 5 is 5. So y has a value of 5 by 2, or rather y is 2.5. So what will be the coordinates of x and y? X is basically minus 3 and this will be 2.5. X is minus 3 and this is 2.5. These are certain problems that we have. Okay, let O 0 0 P34 be the vertices of a triangle. Find a point R inside the triangle OPQ so the triangles are of equal areas. So let's first have a let's have a basic idea of what we are talking about. So let's say this is basically a triangle. Let's say this is basically a triangle. There is a point R such that there is a point R inside the triangle. What has been given here is that there is a point R. So let's say we have here A, or rather OPQ. Let's take as OPQ. So let's take this as O, which is 0 0. Then we have P, that is 3 4, and this is Q, that is 6 and 0. Vertices of a triangle OPQ. There is a point inside this such that area of this triangle and this triangle are of equal areas, such that the triangles OPR, PQR and OQR are of equal areas. This is possible only if R is the centroid of the triangle. If R is the centroid of the triangle, which means that R will have coordinates as x1 plus x2 plus x3 upon 3 and y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 3. So which means how much? R will have coordinates as x1, that is 6 plus 0 plus 3 upon 3, y1 0 plus 0 plus 4 upon 3. Okay, so this will be R, that is 6 plus 3 9, 9 upon 3, that is 3, that is 4 by 3. So R basically as a centroid will have these coordinates. Okay, so that would be it for today.